You either die a hero or see yourself live long enough to become a villain. Ezra Miller seems to have taken the Joker's famous last words to heart. The controversial The Flash actor is back in the news for yet another criminal charge. This time, they're charged with felony burglary in Vermont. If you're wondering if the on-screen speedster will be able to outrun their charges, rest assured, we've got all the details in this video. First off, the alleged incident occurred on May 1st, just days after Warner Bros. Discovery's attempts to revamp the DC Extended Universe. Vermont State Police thought they'd give them a nice round of publicity. Hey, all press is good press, right? In a report released on Monday, Vermont State Police stated that they responded to a burglary complaint in Stamford on May 1st. There, they found a bunch of bottles of alcohol that were taken from a residence while the homeowners weren't present. After looking through security footage and interviewing witnesses, Miller was charged for the burglary. It seems they aren't fast enough to dodge security cameras in real life. Miller was then located shortly before midnight Sunday and was issued a citation to appear in Vermont Superior Court on September 26th. Next up, how many flashy crimes have been added to Ezra's collection? The latest felony charge is just one of the many crimes that Ezra has managed to do recently. The superhero-turned supervillain was first in the news for being arrested twice earlier this year in Hawaii. The first of these two charges was for disorderly conduct and harassment, while the other one was for straight-up second-degree assault. They're not pulling any punches, literally. But that's not even all of it. Next, the parents of an 18-year-old Native American activist also filed a protection order against Miller earlier this year. The couple accused Ezra of grooming their children and doing other inappropriate behavior while she was a minor. According to them, they've been doing this since she was 12 years old. Yikes. Tokata Iron Eyes, the activist, came forward later though, and she claims that these allegations aren't true. Ezra's attorneys have yet to respond on either the Vermont felony charge or the protection order against Tokata. Moving on, what does all this mean for the Flash movie? If we've learned anything from the past few days, it's that the DCEU is unpredictable. Not just the state of its extended universe, but its actors are pretty much living comic book characters, and not all of them are heroes. With the unfortunate axing of the Batgirl film, we know for a fact that Warner Bros. Isn't scared of throwing a nearly done project straight to the trash. Does this mean that the Flash film, currently scheduled for 2023, might meet a similar fate? So far, the DCEU has made no announcement of any plans to cancel The Flash. In fact, they've actually doubled down. In an earnings report last week, David Zaslav, the chief executive of Warner Bros. Discovery, mentioned The Flash as one of the main upcoming DCEU entries that he's excited for. The film was mentioned alongside others, such as Black Adam and Aquaman 2. What's more, Miller won't be playing The Flash after the movie. Whether or not The Flash gets released, it's clear that Ezra's time with Warner Bros. Is done. Back in June, the company reportedly mentioned not keeping Miller around after The Flash was done. We can't help but wonder just how much of a lose-lose situation this is for Warner Bros. With an estimated budget of $200 million, canceling the movie outright seems like a bad move, but releasing it is sure to get them some criticism. If it ends up being bad, then they'll just lose money, and it'll be a huge amount when you consider the downright massive marketing budget this film will need to drown out the endless series of crimes of its lead actor. But what if it's good? Well, then you've delivered a great film that people will want to see a sequel to. Except, of course, Miller's too busy being a villain in real life to portray a hero on screen. And it's not like they can save face and write Miller out in some way. DCEU clearly had no plans of firing Ezra after this film before their recent criminal spree, and clearly, reshoots aren't going to be a possibility, unless, of course, they send a film crew to Vermont County Jail. Look, what we're trying to say is, there's no way this film is going to be anything but a dumpster fire, and we'd be lying if we weren't just a tad bit excited to see it burn. Finally, who's going to be the next on-screen main Flash. With a character as iconic as the Flash, it's unlikely that DCEU will keep him idle for long. Even if Ezra won't be playing the character anymore, it's likely we'll see him zip by our screens with a new actor eventually. Fans have already started tossing in their own picks for who that could be. Hopefully, it's someone who doesn't have as big of a criminal record. According to a rumor that spread earlier this year, Teen Wolf actor Dylan O'Brien might already be in talks to be the next Barry Allen, but that's not likely to be true, considering we'd already have heard some official source confirm it by now. Another name that pops up all the time when discussing Ezra's replacement is Grant Gustin. The 32-year-old actor plays the Red Speedster on The Flash TV series, so he already has experience with the character. Add in some multiverse mumbo-jumbo, and you've got a ready-made character to use in the DCEU. Sounds like the best plan to us. But with that, let's flash forward right to our next segment, Other News. Firstly, James Gunn clarifies Peacemaker Season 2's status amid DCEU reboot. On one hand, you've got Marvel expanding their universe into a literal multiverse, and then you've got the DCEU reducing their universe to atoms and starting from scratch. With the fate of most projects up in the air, James Gunn recently clarified Peacemaker Season 2's position. Responding to a fan question on Twitter, Gunn replied that Peacemaker is still set to continue to be a part of the DCEU. Well, that's good. The last thing we need is the DCEU pulling the plug on one of their only good projects. Though it's worth noting that Gunn didn't really go into too much detail about what the whole DCEU shakeup would mean for his colorful TV series. So it seems for now, we've got no option but to keep the peace and wait. Next up, Marvel fans think we'll see the Defenders show up in the Daredevil Disney Plus series. With Daredevil finally getting added to the MCU, fans can't help but wonder if we'll see the rest of the Defenders in the series. The Disney Plus show has a rather large episode count of 18, compared to the usual 6 or 8 that most Disney Plus shows are allotted. With Kristen Ritter having rumored that her return to the MCU may be closer than we think, and Mike Coulter also being up for joining the MCU, it feels likely that we'll see the potential team-up happen on screen. As to who they might be facing, well, it's expected to be Kingpin. According to a rumor, Echo, another Disney Plus series currently in development, is set to end with Kingpin running as the mayor of New York City. This is quite similar to a recent comic book event where the villain becomes the mayor of NYC and attempts to outlaw superheroes. Hey, if this was the Boys universe, he'd have our vote. Still, so far, most of this is based on rumors, so it's a good idea to take it with a grain of salt. Lastly, epic new fan video shows Emilia Clarke as a Scarlet Witch variant. Emilia Clarke has yet to step foot in the superhero world, and it seems fans can't wait for her arrival. Not only was she the first pick among fans to replace Amber Heard as Mara, but now a talented video editor has used deep fake technology to show us what Clarke could look like as a potential Scarlet Witch variant. As seen in the epic fan video, Emilia's face is edited over Olsen's in the Doctor Strange sequel. And we gotta say, even as just an edited version, the performance is chilling. With that in mind, we can't help but wonder how good Clarke could be able to play the role in real life. Strider HD, the fan who made this video, has been working on deepfake technology for quite a while. On their YouTube channel, you can see trailers that show us a glimpse of many different variants of the multiverse. The best part of the MCU dabbling in the multiverse is that all this fan content is basically kind of canon now. So even if Clarke is yet to join the MCU, we can always kind of pretend that she already has. If she were to join though, we're not exactly sure what character would be a good fit for her. Maybe some of our more Marvel-savvy fans have a good suggestion? That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Ezra Miller's latest criminal charge? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.